Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Laborde with Zoom Collaborate, and I'm so excited today to introduce you to my colleague and my friend. She's our managing partner here at Zoom and director of product innovation, Susan DeGenring. Hi, Susan. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle. It's great to be here. I'm really glad to be talking with you about this topic, which is conscious collaboration. I've been passionate about it and studying for years.
Yes. Well, great. Well, let's jump right in. Let's talk about it. I thought we would start off by asking you if you would explain what you mean by conscious collaboration, and tell us what led Zoom to this idea of conscious collaboration. How'd you get here?
At Zoom Collaborate here, we've trained about, I think, probably over 1,000 people in how to lead and work remotely. And, these people come from organizations who have teams that span the globe, and some of them don't even know each other. These virtual workers, leaders in their teams, come to us to learn things like how to build rapport and trust on a virtual team, or how to give performance feedback when someone works remotely from you. And so this way of working virtually and online has radically changed the social fabric between a manager and those he or she works with.
Definitely. I mean, I've participated in some of our sessions with our clients, and I know that people see the challenges, but they don't fully grasp how to alter their own practices and behaviors for this new way of working, right? Virtual is the new normal, right?
Right. By and large, we find that most of our clients haven't really adapted, and it shows in the results. So some research says that as many as 30 to 40% of virtual teams, they just fail. They fail to accomplish whatever the goal was. Now, there can be lots of reasons for that.
Sure.
It's not just about how they work together, but one study from MIT even had the figure as high as 80%.
Oh my gosh.
That was earlier in this trend of virtual collaboration, but still, it's worth looking at. And that's what brought us to this idea of conscious collaboration in the digital age. Like, what does it really mean to manage and connect well across time and space? What does it mean to be really present? What does it really mean to be here in the moment? In this sort of wealth of knowledge now about mindfulness and the research that's been happening over the years about mindfulness, that we decided to look for a solution to help people be more present and productive when working together online.
Isn't mindfulness more of a spiritual thing? Why do I care about being mindful when I'm at work?
Right. Mindfulness, did come out of the secular traditions, out of the religious traditions. It's been around for thousands of years. And most major religious traditions have some kind of contemplative aspect or practice. It's really migrated to the mainstream in a big way. And I mean, even the Seattle Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll, talks about how he uses mindfulness with his team. And mindfulness in and of itself just really means being free of fixed mind. So what we mean by that is, in today's environment, some people have coined a phrase that typifies what it's like working in this sort of frenzied global or highly connected environment. It's called VUCA, which means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And there are consequences of being unconscious when you're collaborating in this world. And they show up in lack of productivity, distraction, worker stress and burnout, misalignment, all kinds of things. The perfect example is multitasking. We all do it, and it's an unassailable byproduct of device dominance, as you like to call it.
Yes.
And there's already been a lot of neuroscience research that proves that contrary to what we all want to believe, that we can only focus on one cognitively demanding thing at a time. In fact, there's a piece of research that was done at Harvard that said multitasking decreases the intelligence of a Harvard MBA student to that of an 8-year-old.
Oh my.
Now, right? I love kids.
Oh my goodness.
But do we want a bunch of 8-year-olds running our organizations? I think not.
No. So actually, what is this thing you're calling conscious collaboration?
Well, the way we're talking about it, it's a way to bring attitudes and practices and skills of mindfulness to the very harried, frenzied work environment in a way that can help people see more clearly what's happening in the moment and solutions or opportunities to grab or to innovate around together with other people. That's what mindfulness practices help you do. And our version of conscious collaboration blends time-tested collaboration skills, which we've been teaching leaders and managers and practicing ourselves for 40 years. And we combine that with this ability to be self-reflective into how can I develop myself as a leader and be more present, more inclusive, have more precision of mind in this VUCA environment.
So it's a learning process. Can you
Yes.
give me kind of the details, the nitty-gritties of what happens in that learning process?
Sure. Well, we introduce this concept of conscious collaboration as a new way of working together to people. And we mean by that being awake to the collaborative potential in each moment, being able to engage each other with grace and caring, and all this generating finer clarity of mind. There are commitments that they make, or intentions might be a better word. One is to purpose, seeking out and having reasons for working together that really are meaningful and inspiring to not only to ourselves, but to the people we're working with. Presence, we've talked about already, being mindful in the moment, skillfully managing one's own internal dialogue so you're not getting yanked around by what Daniel Goleman used to call, emotional hijacking. The third is practice, which is really about how you listen and how you speak to others. Our speaking has a huge impact on others. So can we practice skillful listening and speaking with the needs of all stakeholders in mind? And the final one is process. So purpose, presence, practice, and process. So conscious collaboration means you have the intention to look at process and build work processes with the whole, the parts, and the greater whole in mind. So we talk to people about that. We have them explore those 4 areas for themselves. And then we bring in a variety of different learning techniques and concepts and skills, depending on what they have said they want. So we bring 6 to 8 people together in a learning cohort, we like to call it. And we intersperse over a 12-week period. We intersperse in a blended learning process, individual coaching. So each of these leaders gets individual coaching, and they have their own individual goals around what they want to learn and how they want to apply it in their own work environment. And they'll pick a project, which we're calling an adaptive action project, that they will be able to apply the skills and concepts to and see the impact over time.
All right, so I want to sign up. Tell me what my benefits are. What am I going to gain?
I think it will be different for different people, because one of the things we love about doing learning in this way and leadership development is each person comes with their own specific goal.
Yeah.
And what they're focused on. But some of the things that people typically talk about is I want to be better able to survive the stress in my work environment. So you could come away from this with not just the skill or the behavior for dealing more calmly and successfully with difficult situations, but you'll also have a mindset or an attitude, and even, the bodily awareness. It will come from the inside. It's an inner game that contemplative learning can give you. So that could be one thing.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much. We're running out of time, but I want to have you give us one nugget. If you can say one last thing that you want us to take away and remember from our discussion today, what would it be?
Here's what I would say: that Apple or Microsoft or Samsung, they have created amazing devices for us, and they have created these very cool commercials that I get totally sucked into, make me want to go buy the next thing.
Yes.
And they make working with our devices look super cool, fun, hip, and easy.
Easy.
Right.
Yeah. So easy.
So easy. And that is kind of true, but it's also true that managing it all can be really stressful, and all that technology causes like this, what they call attention deficit trait. It's a digital ADD, and it really can diminish, as we've already said, the quality, the acuity with which we come to our work, but also our human relationships. Yeah. So I would say that one thing I would leave people with is to just experiment. Just take 1 minute in the middle of a really busy thing where you're running crazily between 5 different projects. Stop for a minute and focus on your breath. And then come back to the project and see how that might impact how you work. Just 1 minute can make a big difference.
Just one minute.
Yeah. Just 1 minute.
Wonderful.
That's my new slogan.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you, Susan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.